fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome in, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. Today's video is going to be a mixture of hopefully very informative as well as a smidge, just the tiniest a bit, of a rant / plea to the overlords to improve sourcing for fusion tech rods. Now, we're going to talk about forbidden tech just a little bit today, but to do that, we have to go over the pros and cons of it, as in the good and the bad. So first off, what are we talking about? Well, if you go into my ships here, you can see I've got an FT and a CT, a forbidden tech and a chaos tech, on my Rotaran. She's beautiful, but that's not the point. We're talking about this currency at the very top, the forbidden tech fusion rods, and the ability to source them. Now you'll see me having 199,000 and go, wow, Rev, you're actually good to go. Why would there be a complaint? Well, there's several layers to this. Number one, the fact that I have a cost to unequip mine, that's a little bit of an annoyance. Not to mention, it's not just the unequipping that will run you a high price tag. In fact, we can put something on the screen right now that might blow your minds if you've never realized it. The actual cost of unlocking. So just to unlock the ability to use an FT on your ship, you've got G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, etc. Cost 37,500 is what it costs to give my Rotaran the ability to have a forbidden tech on it, let alone the cost of actually equipping and unequipping said tech. Now, to be very clear, this is not just a rant video because Scopely did improve this in a way because CTs don't have this problem. So big thumbs up for that, Scopely, for not having that bottleneck on there. That's just absolutely ridiculous. While you do have a cost, it is very manageable and quite easy to get the material. You don't have the same level of bottleneck, whereas here, well, this comes up a lot in the live streams. You have to simply be very picky about when you use, how you use, and where they go, that being the FTs in the game. Let me give you another visual example. Let's pop out of here. This is my Revenant specialty ship, and I actually very rarely put FTs and stuff on specialty ships because, as you can see here, I cannot equip, though it would cost me 12.5K, and to unlock is 28,100 because it is a 4-star ship. So with me having what I have, that's taken time to acquire, and the only reason I maintained that is because I simply do not move my FTs around very much. Let me give you another example of what I mean. So here is my Enterprise D. I love it. She's beautiful, and it has the red matter on it. Previously, the red matter was on my Northcut, a level 53 ship. So there was a 7-level difference before I moved it so that I had time to make sure I could afford said move. Now, this video has started off with a little bit of a negative tone, and that's not necessarily my intent, although I do hope Scopely continues to improve sourcing of the forbidden tech fusion rods. But I also want to give you everything you need to know about how to get them at the current state of the game today, and we're going to start with the refinery itself. Now, keep in mind that the refinery is based on your Q building, so how much you get will vary. For example, my lower level account when it pulls here is 400 per chest. However, it's a little bit better if you are at my level right here. There you go, about 500 per day. Now again, this is not an insane amount. This is per chest. So if you're triple pulling this chest, that's 1,500. But again, if you look at the cost that we just went over, I mean, we just talked about the cost, ladies and gentlemen. How can you forget it? But put it back on the screen, side by side, we got right here, look at that, 37,500. So if you're a G5 player, that's over a month of triple pulling the refinery just to be able to unlock the slot, not even to use it. That is a bit silly. So what can we do? Well, number one, here's what you can do. You can like the video. Believe it or not, that helps out the channel tremendously, and we try to get people to do it every single time. So if you're watching, thank you. Greatly appreciate you. Like the video. So besides here, where can we source more? Well, there are a couple different places. Your actual Q trial progression will help you. Just about every time you progress through a different tier, you get paid in fusion tech rods. So for example, I got 4,500 when I completed this one here in 3-star. And if I did the very top one, I got 5,500. And you'll see that as a recurring theme throughout the trials themselves. If I click over here, I'm not getting as much, but I'm getting 1,750. And if I click on the 4-star trials, which you've been watching my Enterprise D currently work on here in recent streams, my next one will give me 3,000, pushing me over 2K. I'm sorry, 200,000. Now, what all does this mean? It simply means that you can slowly accrue it by doing your Q trials. What happens if you've completed all of your Q trials and you've already made the mistake of moving your Metreon Cascade, for example, from one ship to the other, costing you thousands and tens of thousands of rods? Well, there is a new way to get rods that came out here quite recently in your Terran Empire. Now, the immediate concern with that method is, well, it's the Terran Empire, meaning it is a PvP-based event that happens for 8 hours every Monday that, number one, not everybody's into PvP like I am, and two, not everybody's available to do that at the time. But if you come down, there is a favor called Forbidden Favors that will actually pay you out some of this currency, again, depending on what level you've unlocked it, a little bit of this currency every day. And here it is on the screen. Now, it gives you more than just the rods. It gives you the proto matter. It gives you the other upgrade materials needed to take what you need to the next level for an FT. So it's your tier up catalyst. However, the proto matter is not the bottleneck any longer. While it can be expensive because FTs have that wonderful ability that they can fail, what really matters is the rods. Because what ends up happening is a lot of players, and more I run into in G4 and G5 especially, have spent their rods moving it ship to ship, trying to get a tactical advantage. And I understand why, by the way. I'm not just trying to, say, hey, those players are stupid. That's certainly not what I'm trying to argue. Simply that this is a bottleneck that I hope Scopely doesn't leave in the past. Because in a way, they kind of have. Yes, they did just provide this, so clearly it's still somewhat on their minds. But if you remember, they've already moved on to chaos technology, right? Which is the sidecar to FTs. And I must stress, they did a much better job with that here. CTs do not have the same level of issue. Yes, there's an unlock cost, but look at 350 compared to 12,000 of what it would cost on my Boar Cube just to take off the Metreon Cascade. And the Cube being one of the very few special ships that I would justify putting an FT and CT on because of its long-term impact. But all that said, the biggest key for you, if you're out there wanting to get FTs, now that the Ferengi Whip is free to play, now that you can get the PvPs and the PvEs, such as the Agony Booth, which I don't even have the Agony Booth yet, or the Aegimus, or the Metreon Cascade, since you can obtain these things, you got to be very careful about where you put them because you don't want them stuck. And I've run into players who have got their Metreon Cascade on their Enterprise, but now they're deep in the 40s and they simply have run out of rods because they were moving it to and fro, and now they're working to catch up. So this video is giving you the 3 ways to get said rods, and hopefully it's put another bug in Scopely's ear, just like the ones they used in Wrath of Khan. That's what I'm hoping, right? Wrath of Khan, that's what I'm really hoping. Scopely, you hear me? Please listen. Thank you as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and let me know what you are doing. If you have other helpful tips, tricks, etc. for players who want and need more fusion rods, drop them down in the comment section below. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. As always, thank you so much for supporting me and my family, and I'll catch you on the next one.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.